Do you want me to go from the beginning or just kind of drop in?
My name's Matt Bonacorsi and I am the owner of Maverick Numismatics. I make digital sculptures for coins and medals. Trained as a silversmith and a jeweller, and then by a crazy sort of series of events ended up working at the Royal Mint, which is based in Lantryston, just outside of Cardiff. I was there for 15 years, trained as a low relief modeller and engraver, and then worked up to be chief engraver and eventually head of design before I left in 2011. After that, started up my own business doing the same thing but for private clients.
I was commissioned to produce this by a client for a series of coins commemorating the Queen's becoming the longest reigning British monarch. So it starts off, as with anything else, with a sort of reference material. For me as a freelancer and for everybody else doing this kind of work, you're restricted to what you can get and what's available, out there in the public. So what I tend to do is get a number of different images and different angles. So this is a piece of software called Coral Painter, and it's not really like Photoshop. It's a natural media simulator, it's called. So what it does is it allows me to draw like a human directly on the computer. Once the 2D side is out of the way, once the design's been approved by the client and they're happy with it, then what we have to do is go on to turning that into a three-dimensional form. So this is ZBrush. This is the industry standard software for any kind of digital organic modelling. So it's used mainly by the VFX and game design industry. This portrait of the Queen gets its sense of depth, or any model gets its sense of depth by the way that the light hits it. I can then export as a WebGL file that allows the client to see it and move it around their screen with a mouse. They don't need to download any software. They can just kind of pick it up and play with it and move it around and see how it looks in 3D. Sign off on that, say yeah we like it, no we don't like it, and once that's complete I can just send that 3D file off to whoever's going to be manufacturing the physical tooling.
Working from home is obviously quite interesting with two young kids around. What I have to do is make sure that I have set times for work and try to keep a balance between the time I spend with the family and the time I spend locked away in the room at the top of the house. I like to see I see my children for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Try to spend as much time with them as possible, but then when I'm shut in the office working, I'm working and I'm kind of out of the way. The main thing is just keep reevaluating how things are working, what's going right, what's going wrong, and making sure that I don't fall into the sort of age-old trap of freelancers of never leaving work alone, constantly checking the phone, constantly checking the emails, and having that time of day where I shut the door and walk away from it.